This is Patrick from WSOU 89.5 FM, the loudest rock, here today with Liam Wilson. How you doing today?
I never had it so good. How are you?
Same here. It's getting warm outside, so feeling pretty good here in New Jersey. So you're touring with In Flames right now on the bass, and you actually start the tour Wednesday, which is 2 days from when we're recording this. I don't think I've actually interviewed anyone this close to when a tour starts. So like, what's the next like 48 hours going to look like for you?
Probably cursing my manager for scheduling this. No, not really, not really. No, I was actually. I feel like I have the proverbial like honeydew list. Like I'm gonna put some air conditioners in my windows because I know it's probably gonna get hot while I'm gone. I'm outside like doing some landscaping. A little TMI, but I'm having like a really major sewer issue at my house, and leaving is like the absolute worst thing I could do for that. So yeah, I've got a lot going on, like some phone calls with the water department, all kinds of fun stuff, and just kind of switching hard drives between, Dillinger and Flames, just trying to, make sure I'm in shape for all these songs, looking forward to the tour, and otherwise just kind of like saying goodbye and kind of putting on the, taking off the Clark Kent suit and putting on the Superman suit to try to go and rock the US.
Fantastic. Yeah, I was going to ask about that
Long
too.
answer.
Yeah, no, you're a really busy guy right now. You've got the reunion going on with Dillinger Escape Plan, but now you got to kind of switch gears for In Flames. How is In Flames kind of a different world musically from you than it is for Dillinger, which is what most people know you for?
Yeah, I mean, from the ground up, I feel like just my approach to it, like playing with my fingers as opposed to playing with my pick. It's all metal, but it's a little bit different in terms of its format and presentation. But at the end of the day, like I think it has more, there's more similarities than there are differences. And like even just the vibe of the touring crew and everything, it just feels very very home. It once you've kind of done the road life and the touring life for a while, it's just kind of like an easy transition. I'm going to put 110 in no matter what. So even if certain aspects of the music aren't challenging in a certain way, Dillinger's pretty peak difficulty. And that challenges me in a certain way, but like like I said, I'm still going to put 110 into the In Flames stuff. It's fun to just kind of like really rock out stuff and like lay into it in a different way. Get to play with gear in a different way and be like, oh, this gear kind of serves this a little better. Yeah, I don't know. And I mean, it sounds really corny, but it's also like the friends you make along the way. Like I really like it's a real blessing to get to play with such talented people who just like all around great personalities. Like I'm really just spoiled with the kind of people I get, the caliber people and musicianship I get to play with. It's like really kind of, as my wife put it, it's like a birthday wish. So yeah, I'm stoked. I'm living the dream.
Yeah, that's very cool. And I've seen In Flames live twice now. And both times, what they do is they kind of say, all right, these next few songs are from this album / this era, and these next few songs are from this era.
Sure.
What's your personal favorite era to kind of play through?
I mean, it's like, I know my like set favorites. But like everything in the set, again, it's like I really, I'm not trying to be corny or like dodge a question or anything. Like my honest answer is like I really have an appreciation for everything we lay down. Like I don't think it would be in the set if it was like, hack job material. And I get what the audience gets. And I want, even if I'm like not totally, as fluent with the song as some other people, like once I see the audience reaction, I'm like, oh, and I start to appreciate parts differently. But to kind of, specifically answer, for me, I really love, I love like Cloud Connected. Like it's a very bass driven song. For at least for me, it feels like I'm like kind of driving that ship. I Am Above, I really like a lot of the Foregone material too. Like that's kind of a little bit more in my like my metal wheelhouse. So, all that material, the foregone songs, the state of slow decay, all that kind of stuff. I love the crowd reactions in like Lunar Strain and Food for the Gods. Like, I mean, it's really, I could sit here and just really kind of dork out about all of it. And I'm kind of a new fan. Like all this stuff is really like I'm way deeper into In Flames than I'm so under the hood right now that like, I'm kind of having this like, I don't know, just appreciation for the whole catalog. It's all kind of hitting me at once in a very like active way. But the longer I have to kind of let it all process and the more material I learn and kind of like the more I understand about the like kind of Bjorn's vocabulary, and things like that, it kind of gets um I don't know, it's just fun. And then having Tanner on drums, it's like, I mean, he makes all the old material like kind of just dance in a way that it never did before. Like I love as a bass player, like it's great rocking out with him. I got, Chris Broderick is like, he's no chump and he's just like such a great, he's just such a great wingman and just has a lot of experience. His stories are kind of like, mentory, which I appreciate.
Mhm.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could sit here and just kind of, uh, talk it up, but it just kind of goes back to like, yeah, man, I'm kind of living the dream right now. I got a great crew, got great bands.
And something you just mentioned Bjorn and talking about the musicianship and everything. Something I thought is kind of funny is how I've seen In Flames twice, and both times Bjorn was wearing a Clutch T-shirt, which I thought was so cool because Clutch, it's so not In
Yeah,
Flames. And like
yeah.
what's like your soundtrack sound like on tour? Like what were you guys listening to? Like kind of
Oh man.
just to pass the time.
Well, I mean, I've enjoyed talking to Bjorn and Anders kind of about more like the old school stuff and trying to understand the In Flames sound.
Hmm.
And Anders talks a lot about how much he loves Scorpions, and Bjorn might be like into Queensryche, both of which I can get down with. Um, but like the backstage or like the music selection, man, it is all over the place, and I feel like every band. I don't know very many bands that like just rip like blast beats backstage. It's not, it's really all over the place. Anders usually takes command of that, and he does a fantastic job of like really just like setting a mood. And sometimes it's clutch. And Bjorn has like he's got like a Def Leppard shirt too. I mean, he's got a great collection of like um, you know, musical virtue signaling shirts that I can totally get down with again. But backstage, man, it's all over the place. And a lot of it is stuff that I'm like kind of new to. There's this whole like, there's a lot of stuff that has like traversed the earth, so it's neither European nor, it's pretty global, but there's still like a whole, wealth of stuff that just never quite made it over and never quite made it over in the biggest way. And just hearing that kind of stuff like blended into another playlist of stuff that I can relate to, it's like it's always cool. I'm always like, Shazamming or like what is this? And yeah, yeah, I don't know. I don't know how to dodge or I don't know how to answer the question. It's really
That's
like
fine. Yeah.
genuinely all over the place. I don't know. I'll try to think of something that like they introduced me to. Maybe by the end of the interview, I'll come up with something.
Yeah, I just wanted to ask that because, like I said, both times like Bjorn's wearing a Clutch T-shirt, I'm like, that's so awesome. Like,
Yeah, I mean, all I can say is it's usually pretty upbeat.
mhm.
It's definitely like kind of party vibe, but it's not like your typical playlist of stuff. Like it's definitely all over the place and kind of like environment, weather, day specific. I feel
Yeah.
like Anders really like tunes the vibe. It's cool.
That is cool. And I saw Anders recently in an interview. He talked about how he's not a big fan of people watching concerts through their phone. He called it a missed opportunity. And you just talked about the fan reactions and how that kind of helps you on stage. What can you say to the fans coming to this tour? What can they do to immerse themselves in the In Flames experience?
Oh man, I mean, this is gonna sound like such a like a car dealership kind of statement. But like my honest opinion is buy a VIP ticket. For me, kind of as the new guy, and you're playing some big rooms, like having an opportunity to interact with like, a pool of people before the show. when I get on stage, like I can immediately connect with that like set of people. Selfishly for me, like I actually kind of enjoy the meet and greet experience. It's not like this kind of, I try not to make it like this kind of check off thing in my day. Like it's really kind of an opportunity to be like, okay, let me actually get into this. So that's one way. We have I believe there's a playlist on Spotify for this tour, like which I believe is our material, Gate Creeper, Creeping Death playlist on there. That can kind of whet your palate, I guess. Otherwise I would just say, thrash hard in your daily life. Otherwise the terrorists win. Go to work and really, lean into it and, come and air it out at one of our shows. Oh no.
Fantastic. And you are playing
Okay.
the Warsaw in Brooklyn on May 3rd. What do you have to
Correct.
say? Yeah, what do you have to say about Brooklyn, New York, and that crowd? And what are you looking forward to?
I mean, one, it's a Friday.
Yeah.
That's like a perfect day to play a Brooklyn, New York show. I mean, I haven't played the Warsaw in a minute. I'm really excited to get back and do that, especially with a new band. I mean, I don't know. I don't know what to say. I'm pretty sure those tickets are close to sold out. So I don't really think there's much I have to say to motivate people. It seems like, the word is out there and we're gonna have a pretty slamming show. That's all I know. Day 3 of tour, it's gonna kind of, everything's kind of just getting screwed tight. Set lists are settling in. Um, yeah, I don't know. I'm excited. I'm excited for the East Coast. Like I'm a Philly dude who's been in like New York and New Jersey adjacent bands my whole life. This whole, first couple of days of the run for me is like, just like a gauntlet of high fives with friends and family, and just really excited to start the tour here.
Yeah, fantastic. I'm glad too. Can't wait. May 3rd at the Warsaw in Brooklyn in flames, along with Gate Creeper and Creeping Death. Liam, is there anything else you want to add?
Oh man, I don't know. Thanks for your time. I
Yeah.
appreciate everybody's support for everything and interest. I don't know. Insert all the corny, appreciative, grateful, sentiments here. And with that, I'll see everybody on the road or later this summer.
Fantastic, Liam. Thank you so much. This is Patrick,
Yeah, man.
WSOU 89.5.